Utah is alive right now. Everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sunday Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Right. Then you might get me. But I didn't dance. I didn't dance for a reason. I wanted to make him lose all his power. I kept telling him he had no punch. He couldn't hit. He's swinging like a sissy. He's missing.
All right. All right. Peace and love. Look who's here, y'all. Welcome. Let it be known. We are Feel Good Friday, and you can't have a Feel Good Friday without somebody as funny.
To make you feel good, huh?
Make me feel good. You made me feel real good about 5 minutes ago when I got that text, Jay. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Well, let me clear everything up with everybody. I had an audition where I was supposed to go out of town, but I'm not feeling good. But I'm feeling just good enough to come into your show. And thank you for having me, really. So
I'm so happy you're here. So last night, y'all, I put it out there that I was bringing the headlines and he was bringing the commentary and the funny. And then he texted me and said, well, maybe not tomorrow, Niele. So I got a text about 5 minutes ago and he said, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, now I'm not a liar. So thank you.
You have lied before, but not this time, right? Not this time.
I have lied before.
Well, that's the characteristic of a true liar. I have lied before, but I'm not lying now. Okay,
I'm not lying now. He's here. But that first video we saw, of course, was of the legendary. You see him behind me,
Muhammad Ali, right?
Muhammad Ali. So we played that video because now Muhammad Ali J has stamped. So yesterday was the first day and an issue ceremony for Muhammad Ali's Forever stamp. And so they had it in Louisville, Kentucky, of his birthplace, and of course where the Muhammad Ali Center is. But now everybody can get them a Muhammad Ali Forever stamp featuring the black and white Associated Press photo from 1974 of Ali in his famous boxing pose. So
that's cool. But have you heard what they say about the Muhammad Ali stamp?
What they say?
It can't be licked. Get it? Get it? Get it?
I don't get it.
He can't be licked. Beat, licked.
Can't be beat.
Yes, can't be licked. Well, work with me, Nia. Work with me now.
I get it. So the chat is saying, hey, Jay, good morning. And so Jay, it's also a swag hoodie day. One of our viewers, ORNG, he has claimed Friday as swag hoodie day. And so every Friday he comes in and tells us what HBCU he's representing. And so today he's representing ORNG. Who are you representing? Today I'm rocking UAPB. What is that? What school is that? I don't know.
I don't know that either.
Oh, university. Is it Pine Bluff? Pine Bluff, maybe? I don't know. Well, he'll tell us in the chat. Oh, and he also says, tell Jay George Wallace has his cold medicine in his pocket.
Now, George Wallace is somewhere on the way to visit his mama in jail because, he has to put money on her book every week, so she can buy cheese.
No way. Wait. So it's Arkansas Pine Bluff, but our first guest is here. But before we get into that, I brought up HBCUs because there's some interesting things happening, good and bad, Jay.
On HBCU campuses, right?
Yeah. So I'm talking about North Carolina, AT&T. The State Board of Elections rejected a plan this week to open an early voting center on the Greensboro campus of North Carolina AT&T State University, prompting the HBCU students to protest. So it was so good to see those young people out there saying, hell no, we don't like it. We want you to know, because now some HBCUs don't have transportation.
They don't.
And so it's easy for them to vote on campus. So once again, you see this Trump administration trying to
Make it
disenfranchise
harder
voters.
and harder for people to vote. Whatever
That's
they
right.
can do, cut down election polls, cut down places where people used to vote, make sure people have difficult registration. Whatever they can do, because they smell defeat. They really do. So if you smell defeat, it's time to cheat. I just made that up. That's cool, huh?
Say it again.
When you
Say it
smell
again.
defeat, it's time to cheat.
Okay. Okay, Johnny Cochran. Okay. Johnny Cochran. Write that one down. Write that one down.
Yeah, that looks good on a t-shirt. When you smell defeat, it's time to cheat.
When you smell defeat.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to make it difficult for people to stand in line. You can't go and get water, or people can't give you anything. We're going to shut down polling places. We're going to make it difficult for you to register. I'm 73. This is 1952 and the 50s all over again as to what they're doing. But I don't think no matter what they do, they're going to get their behind cut, and they know it, because people are determined and so sick of these Republicans doing what it is they're doing, not only to black people, but to black and brown people. And they're going to stand up and they're just saying, we're not going to take it anymore.
That's unless, because we heard Donald Trump tell Reuters yesterday that, we might not need an election.
He said that when he was running. If you remember, he said, if you vote for me now, you won't ever have to vote again.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But on a brighter note, Spelman College has been named the #1 college for women. And this is according to America in Newsweek. They reported in Newsweek. Now, the ranking was based on data from the U.S. Department of Education, the Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System, and the Campus Safety and Security Database. But nevertheless, Newsweek
That's great.
has named the #1 college for females, Spelman College.
Spelman College. The first place I ever got a news article, when I first started doing comedy, I didn't have any press. So I approached the people over at Spelman College that I would come over and do a show for the ladies if they write a news article about me. And I did, and they did, and that's cool,
Yeah, congratulations to them. Okay, so let's get to our first guest.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, because she is the Black Press All-Star of the Week. We have the woman who didn't just cover the news, Jay. She became the
news, right?
By choosing humanity over the stat sheet. Now, she's been in the game for over 30 years, interviewed everyone from Barack Obama to even Tiger Woods. And she is the associate editor of the Jacksonville Free Press, a member of BlackPressUSA. Let's bring in Miss Lynn Jones Turner.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes. Right. So so they're calling you the high energy auntie. How do you feel about that title, first of all?
I'll take it. I'm now America's auntie. I will take it, girl. I had to get my hair together, say I look like Don King.
You look great. Girl, you look great.
My email and get rid of her. She needs to go. But it has been most magnificent and overwhelming. I did not know.
Talk to us about all the news outlets that you hit this week.
Girl, shut the noise. And it's Friday. Washington Post, my hometown of Detroit, the Detroit News, LA Times. Girl, I'm gonna have to Google myself.
CBS Morning Show.
Today's Show.
Did you do Stephen A. Smith?
No, I didn't keep Stephen for, later.
We want him going to that, huh? Let me ask you a question. Yes. Did you know you were going to do that before you did it, or you just did it on the spur?
It just came out, Jay. It just came out. The press conferences, there weren't many people, reporters back there. I'm the only woman reporter. And sometimes they give you the mic, sometimes they don't. This particular day, they gave me the mic, and I'm thinking of the punt question in the fourth quarter. I'm that's in my mind because I know that's what you're supposed to do. But when she gave me the mic, you saw how he looked when he came out. It just came out that Keep your head
Get your head up.
Keep
Right.
your head up. You know, he did a magnificent job this year. This is his first year. We are 13-5, and you cannot continue to dwell on the past. You have to win the big games. I'm from Michigan, 2 years, Detroit. Oh, we going to Super Bowl. Did we go? No, because you have to win the big games. Party's over. We cannot talk about what's in the first quarter when there's no another game for the next week. Keep your head up. You know, take care of yourself. Come on back. Duval, you know, our thing is Duval. So
you know what I like about that area? I've done shows down in Jacksonville, and it is a very proud area of the country, especially for their football team, especially for their city. When you say the word Duval, you got to say it right. You can't play with it. Don't go in there shucking and jiving. And I thought that was great for you to stand up and say, hey, dude, you did great. 13-4. 13-4 was a record. That's a selling record in terms of next year. They're gonna sell a lot of tickets, because they really support that town and they really support that football team. And for you to say what you said, I thought it was great. You know, and it stands out. You don't get reporters saying that. You don't get Caroline Love is never gonna get anything like that. Never.
How do you say? Well, how do you say Duval? What's the correct?
You got let her say it.
Duval.
It's weird. It's weird because Duval is like Duval, and then Inglewood is Inglewood.
Yes. Okay, so when he came to town, he was just like Duval.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, Jay, you help me.
Inglewood.
So earlier this week, you had a conversation with Jamil Hill and, of course, Dr. Ben Chavis, and, of course, the editor of your paper, along with Mark Thompson from BlackPressUSA. And Jamil Hill apologized to you. I thought that was a beautiful moment. But I thought what was important that I want to talk about is how they pulled out the difference between the Black press and mainstream media. And your approach in talking to him, as you just laid out, you know, it doesn't matter what happened in the first quarter because it's over. Now it's about encouragement from your opinion. And that is something that the Black press does. That, you know, small community, understand one of our own is hurt. And, you know, you support them, you encourage them. So how do you feel about when you see journalists like the Associated Press and the other journalists in that locker room attacking you and making negative comments about the way, not just you, but the way, because you're a representation of us, the way we approach news?
I hadn't paid any attention to it, young lady. I hadn't even paid attention to what he said. His tweet is what started all of this. Okay. Once I left the press room, I already had received some texts from some of my local friends. They already had said it. Hey, Lynn, oh, that was nice. That sounded like an auntie. So it was all.
We understood. We understood what was going on.
Stay focused. So my people texting me, my husband's sick. I got to get out the stadium. I got to get home. I'm like Ike Turner. I got Dallas, San Antonio. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get home, and I'm telling you, the things was going. I hadn't thought about it, but I'm telling you, that morning when they say FAFO, yes, I did that. I found out, and then the viral moment. You sit around and you think about how does this happen? But let me tell you something. When it happens to you, when they say life comes at you fast, it came at me fast. But the thing is about the gentleman that put the tweet out and talking about fake news. Now that really disrespected me. I didn't feel good about that. The fact that we as the Black press, and I say this every single day. Let me tell you something. Anybody call my office will get the fact that there are more than 230 African-American newspapers in the country. In Jacksonville, we read the Jacksonville Free Press since 1986. We got the Florida Star since 1955. In Philly, you read the Philly Tribune since 1884. And in my hometown of Detroit, we read the Michigan Chronicle since 1935. Talk to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I say this every day. This is nothing. Anybody know me, know that I say that. So my issue was the Black press. This is what this is about. We are not fake. Black press is real news. And so I felt that he was discrediting not only me, but our entire organization.
Right.
Right, Jay. The people that have come through, from Mr. Chavis being at the head, Mr. Warren out at the San Diego Voice and Viewpoint, Bobby Henry down at the West Side Gazette. We are an organization that's been around, and they want to say 190 years. But we as the Black Press, and let me say this right now. What I say every day, every newspaper should say the same thing. Roland Martin, I was on his show, and he said this, the Black Press hasn't received this much press, I guess, since Frederick Douglass wrote the what I'm just saying, the Liberator. But in that sense, we as the Black Press got to do better too. Okay.
Yes.
So what I just said, we need to be saying that. I have people here in Jacksonville that are purchasing subscriptions to the Philly Tribune. You understand what I'm saying here? Because a lot of people, and then the young lady tried to, no, hold on. Let me get in the camera and get this to the people. And even Charlemagne the God said she came with facts. Roland Martin, everybody had to say one thing about this young lady. I'm coming with the facts. So I didn't even pay him no attention. All the naysayers, out of all the naysayers, maybe 5 or 6, we got hundreds. I mean, hundreds. It's just been overwhelming. And me being the auntie that I am now of America, hit me. And I understand Black women, that's the thing too, because we nurture. But this young man got an auntie. He has an auntie, grandmother. You understand what I'm saying? And when he talked to me and kept saying, yes, ma'am, it's the strength of that. For me, it's just a woman or a person to give him that. We're not going to put no colors on it or nothing, because somebody gave him that information as a young man growing up. You tell when people have good parents and when they've been raised, and he's an outstanding gentleman.
Right.
That was great. You go ahead, Niele.
I'm gonna give it to you, Jay, but I want to read some of the comments that are coming in. Michelle Madison Lynn says, I love it. Orange G out of New Orleans says, Auntie, we got your back all the way from New Orleans. Salute and much respect. David Child says, good morning, and good morning, Niele. Good morning, David. Stacy Brown is watching, and he says, Lynn, my initial take was it's not normal to do that in that setting. But of course, these aren't normal times, and you are representing in a great way. And Mike V says, Lynn had the audacity to wear her journalist hat and her advocacy hat on both, and both can be worn at the same time. And that's what Black Press is. News.
That's what the Black Press is. And yeah, the other thing that I was going to say before, there used to be more Black newspapers in this country. There are less than there was back in the 50s. And for you to be in that room, in a sports room as a Black woman, is something I like to see more of. I watch a lot of sports, especially football. And all the women on the field that talk to these jocks are white women. Black women can't get those jobs. And I think it was great for you to speak out and say what you said. I'd like to see more Black women in sports. I'd like to see more Black women black ball players and speaking out of sports. All the Blacks are on the field. Why can't they be on the field speaking to Black football players? And for you to say what you said, I thought it was great. It really was. Shout out to you.
Thank you. I didn't answer your question about Jamil Hill. Some of the things that are going around now, I specifically said Lynn Jones, Jacksonville Free Press. If you notice, some of the
outlets didn't say your name.
They taking out my name. And so I think on a lot of things, Jamil, when she saw it, she was very quick to respond. See, the media have been so quick. And that's my home girl. But I'm sure somebody called. I'm sure somebody say, word up, West Side. That's the Black Press. That's Lynn Jones. And as they're saying, it might not have been protocol, but I didn't have a list to tell me what not to say. I didn't have anything to say. I could not congratulate this man. And it wasn't a congratulations. It was just, man, keep your head up. You had a most magnificent season. Don't let nobody take this away from you, because a press conference is a place where you can have 10, 20 reporters, and every single question or towards you is negative. They break.
Why did you lose? And yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But the other good thing is that Jacksonville team has really lifted that city and put that, because I remember football 10 years ago, Jacksonville football team was a joke. They made jokes about it. They really ridiculed that team. And for them to stand up and do as good as they did this year, that says a lot about the city and the football team, and especially the coach. So you're absolutely right.
Before we gotta let you go because we have another caller coming up and we got a few more headlines to get through. You've had a whirlwind week. What's next for Miss Lynn or Auntie Lynn?
Woo! Oh, did you guys see me on Kevin Hart? I'm on Kevin Hart Prime Video.
We saw you everywhere this week.
Yeah, you're everywhere. Yeah, we're thankful you got time to do this.
I had to do the Black Press. Come on now. It's 230. I can do the mirror newspaper. We got to it. I don't know. It's so much. This thing you have to seize the moment. So that's what we're doing. We're definitely seizing the moment. We got some things coming down the pipeline. I'll keep you guys posted. But I'm telling you, I have been nonstop all week, from interviews, people calling, congratulatory messages to myself. But that was for our team and for our city, one heart, one community. So listen, we just going to go even further next year and just keep doing what I'm doing. Listen, I got to get the paper out. Bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, let me say this to you. You keep your head up. You ain't got nothing to be ashamed about. You go, girl.
Thank y'all so much. I am more than appreciative.
All right.
I'm here for you. Have a most magnificent day. You hear me?
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Auntie Lynn. All right. So we had the viral moment, another viral moment.
That was great. That was great.
That was fun. But Jay, another viral moment that popped up this week that we wasn't expecting was Drewski. Now, if you've been on social media, you guys must have seen it. Drewski, the king of comedy skits, dropped his mega church pastors love money parody. With over 3 million, he might be at 4 million now and counting.
He might be at 4 million. What I did not know.
We're gonna listen to a little bit of it.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen to a little bit of it, Greer. No, we're not. I guess we're not. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, what I did not know about it was he had on the same outfit as another pastor. I didn't know that. I had never seen a pastor, but I've been to some of these mega churches, and it's not the message, it's the money. It's not the message, it's how much money can they take in. And I thought what Drewski did was it was great, and it's funny. And if the mega churches can't have a sense of humor about what it is they're doing, then in other words, forget them. I don't want to say any cuss word, but he was dead on. He was dead on with.
Well, let's pose the question. I want to pose the question to you in the chat. Two questions. First, was it commentary or comedy, and was it a wake-up call for pastors? Was it disrespectful, or was it just a ha-ha?
Was it what now? Say it again.
Was it a wake-up call for the pastors, or was it disrespectful, or was it just a ha-ha?
I don't think it was disrespectful. I think it was a wake-up call for him to turn the mirror on mega church. I've seen pastors fly in. I've seen video of pastors who put a rig on themselves and they fly in. I've seen it. I've seen it online. They've gotten out of hand. And I thought, like I said, for him to take that mirror and said, it's not nothing he made up. He nailed it.
Yeah, I think it's insensitive for if a pastor has a church in the hood to come up in a Rolls Royce and the first lady is in $10,000 couture. I think that's a bit much. I think you have to read the room. And I don't mind a pastor, having a lot, but I want your ministries, your evangelism, your bereavement, your usher boards, your missionaries. I want to see them doing just as much for the community as you're doing for yourself.
You're right.
And if they did that, then it would be okay. You know what I'm saying? Because the increase is happening. The prayer Jabez is happening. Okay, bless me, Lord, and everybody getting blessed. But it's insensitive for you to be here and your congregation to be here, and you're constantly asking your congregation for tithes and $10,000 to sow a seed and all of this, and you up here and they still here. That's problematic for me.
Yeah, I'm with you, Niele. If a church that has money and they're not reaching out to people who don't have money, that's not what church is all about.
Right,
to me,
right.
that's just my opinion. But I thought he was dead on with that, you know. And the other question, is he still up there? Do we have to go get him?
So here's the funny thing. When Jay was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, just tell him I went to go get Drewski.
I got to go get Drewski down. I think he's still up in the air.
No, but I think that's one of the beauties of comedy that, you know, they're trying to erase, like taking something that's very provocative what he did. And it might piss some people off, but it opens up a broader conversation about the state of the Black church. And
Yes.
people can have these conversations. And like you say, pastors should be listening to the response in all these comments about how people are really feeling about the Black church today.
And who's that? Who wrote that song? Just Get Out Your Feelings. Yeah. Get out. Who wrote that?
I don't know. That sounds like it was before my time. Sorry.
No, this is your time. This is your time. Somebody gonna tell us, watch.
Michelle Madison says it was comedy. If the church and the community benefits from it, then it's great. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's great. That was great.
Yeah. So now another comedy story before we get to our ooh, baby. I'm talking about Corey Holcomb and this. I don't know if Anton Daniels is the comedian or
I never heard of him.
I haven't either. I think he's a podcaster, but they almost went to blows. Did you see it? What are your thoughts?
I watched it. Now, here's the thing. Since then, Antoine has made a post that Corey Holcomb was shaking. I didn't see him shake, but I did see him get the other guy get up and leave. So if he was shaking,
he told him to get out.
He told him to get out. Yeah. And he didn't say it again. When Corey said, say it again, he didn't.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I don't know what, but is this the state of podcast now? I mean, like you can have, like we're having a great conversation. Now this might not go viral, but is this what we need to do now to get a viral moment?
But here's the thing. I don't think that was a planned moment. It was just like the lady we had on before. You had on before. It wasn't a planned moment. It was something that happened that went viral. I don't think, it was planned. And I think Corey stood for what he was saying. He's like, say it again. We going to blows. He told him to get out. He didn't say it again. So,
he said on the after tape that he would beat Corey. He would have beat Corey's ass. That's what
I don't think that would have happened.
I don't know either, because you would have did it. But my question is, should the host have more reserve? Should you be able to handle your chat? Should you be able to handle even if you don't like what they're saying?
Well,
who was supposed to be the bigger person in that situation, the host or the guest?
Well, sometimes you've been in news for quite some time, and sometimes the situation changes where you're getting such a negative response from your guests that you got to stand up and say, hold up, dude, we ain't going to go that way. You're not going to say that to me. And you just don't have restraint because of what he said. He said something derogatory toward Corey. I mean, they were having a conversation about their attitude toward black and white people. And then he called him what he called him. And once you say that, all bets are off. We don't know how we're going to act when somebody says something to you like that. So I just thought it was a moment that, it wasn't planned. And Corey was standing up for himself. He didn't say it again. He left. So I thought, and like you said, I think Corey would have whooped his behind. Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Too.
Yeah.
And I guess it depends on the show, because the title of the show is 5150.
Yes.
Which means, somebody is sometimes unbalanced. So that was definitely an unbalanced moment, I would say.
Yeah. Well, It definitely went 5150 this time.
It went 5150. So let's bring in our next guest right now. Our next guest is a literal blueprint for Black excellence and the ultimate queen of reinvention. Now, if you grew up in the 90s, she was the face of the groundbreaking Rolanda show. If you're watching TV, I believe she's the voice. She'll let us know of the Sherry Show. And so let's just bring her in. She's also a recent inductee into the Emmy Silver Circle for 40 years of dominance. Let's welcome Rolanda Watts.
Thank you, and good morning. So good to see you both. And Jay Anthony, so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a million years.
I've been right here. You've been looking for me? I'm here.
I love you because when I started my comedy career, you gave me one of my first breaks at your club. And so
you went up at the J spot?
I was at the J spot. That was one of my
let me just say this. Let me say this before people who are in comedy for a long time, and they constantly say this phrase, well, you haven't paid your dues. And my thing has always been, who's collecting these dues? This door and this stage is open to anybody who wants to get up there and spread their craft and take a shot at this. Because here's the thing, the scariest words in show business is you next. And then you and you have to go for what you know. And
Yeah, and I started very late. I started comedy at 58 years old.
There's no such thing as late in comedy. It really isn't.
That's my point. Never too late. Thank you. But anyway, hello, everybody.
Hello. I want to go back real quick. Nancy Wall said, who was the young lady that was there? That was Darlene. That was she's actually the woman from Ice-T's first album cover that went iconic. Remember the lady that was standing up in the bikini in front of the car on Ice-T's album? That's who the lady was in 5150, the Corey Holcomb show. Just
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That reminded me of the 90s talk shows.
Yesterday, 5150, Corey Holcomb. What are your thoughts about that? Since we have,
well, you have to show restraint, but things happen. I mean, things happen. On my show, we always tried to keep the fighting down, but there are times there are others who were like, let's make this go. Let's
right.
do this, so it's a matter of what tone you want to set, not only for your show, but for your legacy and for who you show up as when the cameras are rolling. So, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Go ahead, Jay. No,
I think what you went through with the cab driver getting accosted and you shedding tears like that. The other thing that came out of it, you got another 10 minutes of comedy. You did. I mean,
wait a minute, Jay Anthony. Can I just tell you? And I'm so glad you said that. I was so distraught, y'all.
Right.
I tell you the terror that I felt.
Right.
And I had to take a mental health day the next day. I was post-traumatic stress. But in that time, I was talking to Jesus. I was talking to God, who reminded me that you may feel defeat, but you will not be defeated.
Right.
You do not have time for fear. This is about faith. And that these may be perilous times, but they're not powerless times. Right. So I had to get in there and get it straight. And as we do as artists and comedians, I was so outraged and so afraid and so in pain. I got a new bit. Yes, it's called.
I told you.
It's called Water, No Ice.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to see ice in my cup. I don't want to see ice in the freezer. And people were like, you should have brought out your camera. I said, I wasn't trying to go viral. I was trying to go home.
Wait. For the viewers who don't know, let's talk about what happened to you. So you were actually leaving a comedy show. Tell us what happened on that night.
Well, I had a comedy show and we had a big celebration at Gotham Comedy Club. And it was a great night. All the comedians were laughing. Everybody's happy. And so everybody's going home. And I hailed a cab like New Yorkers do. And we got up to Harlem and there was an ICE stop. I'm in the back seat like we do, scrolling, and I see ICE. I see all of these men with guns and vests and badges and radios, and they're pulling over the car. And I said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my. And the taxi driver says, I got it. I closed my eyes and I said, I don't know what's going to happen, but all I can do is pray. And all I'm thinking is, I don't know this cab driver situation with immigration. What if he decides to roll off real slow like Renee Good did? What if they start shooting at him because they've got the license to kill now? And I'm sitting in the back seat and brother ducks. I mean, I don't know. Let's say they drag me out the car and put me in a hog tie. I closed my eyes. And let me tell you, you can say what you want, but I played possum like you've never seen. And I kept my eyes closed. I knew that the driver was very calm. He gave his papers. He answered the questions. The ICE agents were very firm. They weren't assholes like we've seen a lot of times. They went through the process. And when they drove off, I was just freaking out. And the cab driver said, ma'am, he goes, this is the third time I've been pulled over. And I'm thinking there are 2 other passengers out there going through PST, going through post-traumatic stress disorder too. I have never, ever, ever in my 6 decades on this earth ever felt terror like that. And this was a situation where it was just a pullover. Now, had something happened, of course, I would have pulled out my camera. Of course, y'all know me, after 40 years as a journalist, I probably would have said something. And chances are, that's why I kept my eyes closed, because I probably would have given them the side eye. But I felt that at that time, and one of the points I wanted to make is I didn't want to clean it up and say, get on my lashes and be pretty and get on air and say hashtag about last night. No, I wanted you to feel the terror that I felt. I wanted you to know that this can happen to you. Earlier in the day, a neighbor had called me and said, Ro, I'm looking out the window and there are ICE stations going up. And I said, oh, come on, no. And so my other neighbor said, no, there's a funeral down at the church and the cops are probably. I said to myself, Rolanda, take your passport. I don't know what that was about. Never taking my passport.
A Black American citizen feeling like they need to take.
I had my passport in. And here's what I'm thinking too. Let's say I reach for my passport and they think I'm reaching for a problem. I don't know what's going to happen. So, and I had people who said, no, you should have. No, when you get in that situation, you do what you think you should do. But
to survive, right.
To live. I wanted to live to get home. And I wanted that cab driver to live to get home.
We want to play
it, but I was not used to it. I'm sorry.
But want to play.
What I'm trying to make is so many times we think that happens over there. Right. That happens to somebody who doesn't look like me. That happens, I'm going to turn this way when that happens. It will happen to anybody, anytime, anywhere. And there's no telling what could happen.
What you'll do, right.
Be prepared for this.
Right.
And know that you're going to be traumatized.
I want to play, Rolanda, can you hear me?
Screwed.
Can you hear me? I want to play the clip. We want to play the clip that went viral this week, so everybody can see how distraught you were. That brought attention to what
I really don't even know what to say. I just got out of a taxi, and it was stopped by ICE. My taxi was stopped by ICE. And the poor guy said this is the 3rd time he's been stopped. And I played like I was asleep the whole time. And if I had to wake the fuck up, I would have done it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
You know what's so scary about the whole moment is there was nothing stopping them. There was nothing. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, there was nothing stopping them from taking you out the cab and treating you the same way. Because this war with ICE is for Black and brown people who look like us. I could be mistaken for an African. You could be mistaken for another.
Jay Anthony, I'm mistaken every day for a Dominican.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Pass as Black.
But they're not going after Europeans. They're not going after white people. They're not scooping them out.
They are now going after white allies. There was a Black pastor yesterday in Minneapolis that did a speech and told white folks, you could lose your life by being an ally to this right now. And I saw at least 5 white men yesterday, I am not kidding, say the Klan is back. White supremacy is back. They have never seen such a thing. So I think, Jay, this has gone beyond black and white. It is like if you are against that Trump Klan administration,
they're after you. They're after you, right?
White supremacy, period. And there's never been about immigration. and then the way they're treating women, you know, and then I had somebody in the trail, because that thing went viral. I think there's been like 1 million views of that video, and the there were people who were I mean, people were just saying all kinds of things, and mainly, oh my God, you were in a cab. That's the thing. I'm in a yellow cab, and if you are in that circle, when they circle your car with those guns and anything can happen. And I'm looking at white women journalists being cow-tied. Right. These are U.S. citizens. Oh, I had people in the thing saying, oh, you're overreacting. You're a U.S. citizen. And I'm like, is your head in the sand? Are you not listening to what news we're getting? Are you not? And I think it's anti-women and anti-people of color, period.
Well, it's anti anybody that doesn't look like them or doesn't vote like them or talk like them. If you go against, like Niele said, if you go against this administration, they're out to get you.
Yeah,
they really are.
You know what I find interesting? Like, you know, like even in the chat now, they come for us. We're not looking for white people. We're not in their chat. We're not in their clan YouTube channels. We're not in bar pride. We don't give a damn about what y'all over there doing. But they always find a way to come into our space and want to interject their views, and we don't give a damn. And I'm like, just imagine, like, we are going backwards instead of forwards. And Jay, you brought this up, like, maybe not you a little bit, but your parents. These are things that you guys have lived through.
Wait a minute. Listen, I was born in 1959. I was a little girl when I was introduced to Jim Crow, drinking colored water, and I don't mean Gatorade and Kool-Aid.
Right.
When I couldn't go to certain places, when
there were certain places and it's weird. When I say the young people, because I'm older and I can't use that phrase, the young people, they don't know what it was like to have places where you could not go. It's not a point that you couldn't afford to go it. You were not allowed to. You were not. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. There was a theater called the Fox Theater, which is still there. Black people sat upstairs. White people sat downstairs. Walgreens store. You only got food if you went around the back. You could. There's a group of people now who've never seen that. So to them, this is new. But for me, I'm not surprised and I'm not shocked.
Jay Anthony, when I was in kindergarten, my parents were integrationists. They always threw me. I was always the only black somewhere, but they were like, "You gonna be up in there." And I was the only black in this kindergarten. And I will never forget going home with a note the teacher had pinned on my sweater. And the note said, "The class is going to Tanglewood Park tomorrow, but your child can't come because the park doesn't allow blacks and Jews." Real talk, real talk. And I think that one of the things I can say is that this stuff is so blatant that we are getting people who are getting it now. I'm looking online. I'm looking at grown white men crying over this.
Yes.
This is an emotional nervous system disruption. It's going to be disruption in every way. And we need to be prepared for that. And the only thing I think that's going to bring us together is us as people coming together. This isn't about politics and what party you're in. It's about, where does your heart stand on humanity? Yes. I mean, who are you really? And I think this nation is so divided by where our hearts are. And maybe things have to get so bad so that people who don't live this life can walk a mile in a moccasin for a second. Where is our empathy, our compassion, our care, our heart? It's the heart of the matter at this moment. And you know what? And it's going to take some bravery. I had to tell myself, you can't be afraid. You'll go and cry for a minute. Oh, I was up. I was distraught. I was in the bed for the whole day the next day. But then I said, you got to get up and we've got to come together. I don't know what it's going to take, but I think it's going to take an administration who preaches that we are all equal no matter what we look like. We don't have that now. No. We do not have that. We have a president who speaks hatred. His hat should say "Make America Hate," because that's what he's done.
He has made an enemy of other people who don't look like him or who don't think like him or who speak against him. He has made America hate, and he knows it.
And
He's
fearful.
fearful,
And
yes.
we cannot, and that's what I had to have a conversation with myself with. We cannot tap into that fear. We've got to tap into the faith that God has got a bigger plan on this.
Right.
And we got to care about each other. I tell you, that stop made me understand what that man has to go through every day to put food on his table. And they're talking about immigrants taking our, they're just lazy and they're not. And why are you picking up all the immigrants at their jobs then if they're so lazy? Right. And I watched this man trying to make a living get pulled over for the third time, and me minding my own business. I get wrapped up in a situation.
Right. I have a quick question for you guys before we wrap up, as we're talking about the state of our nation. And let's talk about Black people. There was a time in this country where it was okay to be a Republican. People who are still a part of the Republican Party, quote unquote, MAGA.
I'm going to tell you, and, I'm all about free speech and the First Amendment and all that kind of stuff. But I tell you, we're going to have to really do some deep soul searching, because my thing is, not even Republican, but if you continue to support Trump and this ideology, you are dangerous to my life. What do we do with friendships? What do we do in those conversations? Remember, we used to have conversations and you could be that person, I could be that person, and we just have a great conversation. I'm not so sure I want to have those conversations anymore. Because if you at this point are still supporting this regime, what can I say? It's everything about hatred, separation, and fear. It's everything that puts a knee back on every one of our necks. Now white women are in trouble. What is going on in this world? And what can we do? Pray, come together, be kind to each other, compassionate, understand what your neighbor's going through, wear a whistle. I don't know. We got to figure it out.
Jay, what are your thoughts? Jay,
I think we have to get rid of that whole administration in the White House in order for things to change, because replacing what's in there with the same thing is not going to help us. We need people who have compassion for people who are not like us. That would mean to protest, that would mean to vote, and that would mean to make fun of. And the more you make fun of a tyrant, the more it irritates him. Trump is so irritated by the fact that people are making fun of him, that people are he sees those people out there marching. He sees that. He sees that. He sees that people are protesting. He sees that people are making fun of him, and it gets to his ego, and he can't stand it. And that's what we have to do. We have to register to vote, because a lot of those people who are crying now, especially those farmers, and they voted against their own interests. They voted against their own interests. That's why so many Black people are like, we tried to tell y'all. We knew this. This was something that we knew from day one. But you did not want an educated, smart Black woman. You'd rather take an idiot white man who has no idea what the hell he's doing in the White House and put him there. And now you're going, I can't believe he did this. Why can't you? This is what he does.
Listen, you've been sold a bill of lies for 400 years. We do this on we do this
I
on
like
a
that. I like that.
We do this on a Tuesday.
But we're running out of time. We're running out of time, so I want to give you the last words. Our producer is asking if you have a regular night at the Comedy Village.
I hop down there. I'm going to be, y'all listen, I'm going to be at Comedy in Harlem tomorrow night.
That's a great spot. I love that spot.
7, and the name of my set is Water, No Ice.
Okay.
Yes. Great.
I love how we take lemons and make lemonade.
I thank God for art. Art helps us to show the worst and worst of our lives and makes it palatable.
You still working with Sherry?
Yes, I'm the announcer every morning. You hear?
Tell her I want to be on the show.
Absolutely.
Put a plug in for a brother.
And anybody who wants to come in the audience, it is the most fun show ever.
It really is.
It really is. Just go online, get your tickets, And Jay Anthony, you got it. Y'all got to come to the show. It's so much
Yeah, I go to New York all the time. I've done those spots, and to be in Gotham, the Gotham Comedy Club, and a couple of other clubs in Harlem. New York is one of the best places to do comedy. It really is.
And
There's so many places you can work. Right.
Yeah, it's right. Oh, also, y'all watch me on Mind Your Business on Bounce TV. And also on Survival of the Thickest on Netflix. 2 great sitcoms you can binge.
Love that one. The new season is coming out for Survival of the Thickest, right?
That's right.
I'm right. I'm looking forward to that.
And I play Khalil's crazy mama.
Okay. Well, thank you for checking in with us and, mixing the pain with a little bit of joy, like Frankie Beverly always said. Be safe out there in those streets, and thank you.
Like you said, you got 20 new minutes of material, so go ahead. Yeah.
Listen, what does that say? Shit makes gardens grow.
It does.
Have a great day, you guys. Love you.
All right.
Hey, Anthony. Mwah.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Get him on Sherry Shepherd. Get him on Sherry Shepherd. Jay, but you didn't answer my question I asked, so let me put it better for you. Could you still be friends with George Wallace if he was a MAGA Republican? Could you still be friends?
There are black friends of mine who support Trump, and it's very hard because you're supporting something that's against my interests. It's if you like she said, if you still support Trump, in my opinion, there's something wrong with you. There really is something wrong with you to support a man who's doing what he's doing against people like us and people like you, and for you to support that, and then for me to come and say, you know what, we still friends. That's kind of hard.
Right,
that's kind of hard to do.
Right. And don't twist it. I did not say that George Wallace is a Republican. I did not.
No, George Wallace is not anything. He's not anything. Don't worry. No, he's nothing. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. People I said, they said, no, I did not say that.
She didn't say that.
I didn't say that. We got a couple more headlines before we get out of here. I think you will like to comment on, Jay. Let's talk about Gayle King. Now, word on the street is she's agreed to a pay cut at CBS Network to remain part-time on CBS Mornings, according to EUR Web. Now, the Emmy-nominated anchor is reportedly earning about $10 million this year, and that's down from her previous $15 million yearly salary. Thoughts? You think
I think that's bold of her to do that. She's making $10 million a year, and can you go around and say the woman got to eat? She can't, how is she gonna live off $10 million a year? So what that cut does, it saves people jobs. My last job I was fired from was because they said that they didn't have the money to pay me, Steve Harvey. So they cut me. And I'm not being braggadocious or anything. I'm very funny on the radio. Very, very funny on the radio. Nobody said, well, you know what? To keep Jay, I'll take a cut. So I think that's bolding of her. I think that's noble of her to do that because it saves somebody's job. And why should she quit? Why should she quit? I think that's great of her to do that.
See, that's a perspective that you never think about. You're like, oh, she had to take a pay cut, but that pay cut is saving jobs.
It's saving jobs, right?
That's a good point. But do you think, you've seen the headlines as to what's happening over at CBS with its new leadership, its new ownership. Do you think she will be able to survive?
No. Well, here's the thing. The other thing, in order to control the people, you got to buy the word of the people. Meaning, if you control a newspaper, you control what's coming out of that newspaper. And so when you get so many politicians or people who connected to Trump to buy up these entities of news on radio and television, that changes your speech. The word free press doesn't really exist a lot across regular media. So no, there's no free press. The black press is free. They're able to say what they want to say. But when you have somebody who controls CBS and they think in terms of, will this hurt Trump's feeling? That dilutes the press. That dilutes the message. And that's the smart thing to do. Take over the press. You take over the message.
There you have it. Last story. Ludacris and Nelly are facing backlash after being announced as performers for Rock the Country, a pro-American event also nicknamed the MAGA Music Fest. So, though not explicitly political, the New York Times called the 2024 the festival a vision of MAGA movement in pure party mode, describing the show as feeling like Trump rallies even without Trump.
Well, you look at it like this. You have somebody like Ludacris and who's the other artist?
Nelly. Well, Nelly's already performed. He performed for Trump's inauguration, one of the balls. He performed for one of the balls.
Ludacris has enough. I don't know. I don't know his bank account, but Ludacris is one of those artists that can make that decision and say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I mean, Dave Chappelle got ridiculed for what he did in terms of stand-up comedy. So there's a weird medium. Are you trying to spread the word of what you're doing, or are you supportive of who you're performing for? So that's a decision that an artist has to make for themselves.
Would you perform for MAGA Fest?
How much they paying?
Okay, let's take Gail's number. Let's just say they offered you $10 million.
I'm not even here. I'm there. I'm
They say life is transactional. Hey, they say transactional.
It's okay to be called a sellout when you go into the bank with a $10 million check. So I don't know. I don't know.
Chat, would y'all perform for the MAGA Fest for $10 million? What's your number? Would you perform for $10 million? 10 million. 10 million once, 10 million twice.
Coming to the stage.
They're very funny. So, all right. So we're gonna head on out here. We have our Black Fact. I think you'll like this one, Jay. Today, in 1925, Black women founded Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated at Howard University, emphasizing scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finer womanhood, becoming a major force in Black Greek life and a member of the Divine Nine.
Blue Phi, what up, sisters? We love you. We love you.
Now, when did you? So what does that mean? First, for those who don't know, you are a member of
a Sigma, yeah, but I'm honorary and I'm financial. Means I'm all paid up in my dues, so I didn't get the beating or anything like that. But I thought it was a great organization to join. Most Sigmas don't have bad knees because we ain't jumping up and down like Qs. We don't have to drop anything like the stick. We just go out and do good in the community. And so I think it's a great organization to be a part of. So shout out to my Saras, right?
Right. I want to ask you that we get out of here. You brought up the stick. Jamal Bryan is a Kappa. What did you think about the dress?
The dress looked fine. I thought she looked great in the dress. But here's the other thing. You have to accept the fact that if you wear something like that, you're gonna get comments. There's no way to get around it. I just thought, wear the dress. Next Sunday, you preach a whole different sermon, because you're going to spend the rest of your time defending a choice that you made. Move on. I thought Sunday should have been about, what up, congregation? Let's find a way that we can help people. Let's find a way that we can go into the community. And like you said, he does do that. You can't defend that. You can't. It takes up too much time.
You can't defend the dress.
You can't defend the dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't defend the dress. All right.
Yeah. And I live in Atlanta. There are a lot of men in Atlanta who could rock that dress straight up.
You know what? And on that note, I want to thank you again for pulling up for Black Press. And of course, let it be known, we always appreciate having you here, Jay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Y'all check out, go to my website, J&T Brown Mofo Store, to buy my hot sauce, my peanuts, my wine, and my paraphernalia.
All right. And what about TV, comedy shows?
Well, when we go back for Tyler Perry show, we'll be doing season 8. January the 31st, I'll be in Birmingham, Alabama. January the 28th, I'm taping The Drink Tank again, 3 and 4. March the 8th, I'll be at City Wineries to help Mara J celebrate her birthday. And March the 17th, I'll be in Houston, Texas. More dates to follow. So
yeah,
yes.
and follow J. Anthony Brown because he's always posting funny stuff. Always posting commentary.
Yeah, I have a post up right now that I think is very funny. It's talking about Jamal Bryant's wife's dress. I took a different approach about how I thought, okay, she wore the dress, but he had a different conversation with God when he had to make that prayer about helping him, having God helping him get through it. So check it out.
All right, and Stacy will be back on Monday, and of course, we'll have more news, views, and advocacy. And in the meantime, check out BlackPressUSA.com for the latest in Black news. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace and love.